I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Okay, good morning class. I am your instructor today. By the way, I'm Felix Realis Sardin Jr. So, how are you today? Oh, that's good. That's good to hear that you're all fine. So, by the way, what are you going to do when someone is talking in front? Yes, you should be. Listen attentively. And what if you're about to answer? Yes. Yes, you should raise your right arm. Okay, then, so I guess that there are no absents, right? So, let's start the class. So class, I'm going to show you some pictures. Yes, you suggest the pictures. Are you familiar with the game, what did they call this? 4 picks 1 word? Yes, but this game is somewhat like the same, but just observe the pictures and observe keenly the pictures and tell everything what have you observed. Okay, so the first picture, what do you observe in the first picture? Yes, what is this? It is a stairs. Yes, stairs. It's a, what do you call this stairs? A stairs made of cement. Yeah. The second picture, what have you observed? It's about the rooftop. Yeah, it's about the roof. There are diagonals. Yeah, here. What about this one? This is a hills, a steep hills. How about this last picture? What is this picture? This is a road sign, a steep road sign. So, okay, Clint, what have you observed? All in all, what are the commonalities? Yes. What is it? Diagonals? Yes, they have diagonal lines. What else? Steep? Yeah. A steep lines. Yes. So, what do you think is our topic for today? Based on what have you observed in the picture? Yes, our topic for today is about slope of the lines. So, right now we're going to illustrate the slope of the lines. Yes. Our topic is about illustrating the slope of the lines. So, what is slope of the line? Slope of the line refers to the steepness of the line. It could be that steep, yeah, very steep, and it could be that way, yes, or that way, or until it goes like into horizontal. But it should never be vertical, because vertical can make it zero slope. So from that picture, let's go back to those pictures that I have shown you earlier. Yeah. So, where are the slopes in these pictures? Yeah, where are the slopes? This picture, where do you think are the slopes can be found? Yeah, that one. The one with the red arrow, yes. How about this? Yeah. What else? Yeah, that one. And then, yes. Actually, you can find many slopes in this picture, but I just show you some, yeah, slopes that we can find it easily. How about in the second picture? Yes, it's about, yeah, the rooftop, the roof, the diagonals of the roof. That is the slope of the line. It's supposed to lie in the real life situation. Yeah, that it could be that way, or it could be inclined to the left or inclined to the right. Yes. And in the third picture, yes, the steep of the mountain, the steep hill. Yeah, that one, and that makes the leaves that fall out easily down. And in the fourth picture is the road, the steepness of the road. Yeah. But actually, if you observe it more clearly, you can find a lot of different slopes that we could see and describe it as steepness, right? So there are types of slopes. The first type are the positive slope. Positive slope are the slope that is inclined to the right. Yeah, a positive slope is a slope that is inclined to the right. Next one is the negative slope. Yeah, the negative slope. So if the positive slope inclined to the right, what do you think will be the negative slope? Of course, it is the opposite it is opposed to the positive. Yeah, this is, it is negative. So therefore it is inclined to the left. Yeah, that's right. Another types of slope is the zero slope. So what do you make it? What do you think it will make it zero? Because the graph is horizontal. The slope, the line is horizontal. There can be no rise or there you run, but that is a zero slope. The graph is horizontal. And the last one is the undefined slope. The graph is vertical. So what again? The positive slope. What is the graph? The graph is inclined to the right. The negative slope, yes, it is inclined to the left. And the zero slope, horizontal, yes. And the undefined slope, yes, it is vertical. The lines are vertical. Okay. So the slope of the line, the slope of the straight line is defined as the ratio of vertical rise of the line to its corresponding run. So it can be formed in this. Yeah, look at the feature. Yeah, look at the presentation. It is correspond as the ratio of rise and run, or the change of y and the change of x. So in the graph, how like that, it's a positive slope. Yeah. How do we see the rise and the run? Yeah, for example, that point P. Yes, that point P and the point O. So there must be 2 points in order to get the slope. Okay. So where is the rise and the run there? So what do you think? Can we find the rise and the run? Of course, it can be found in the graph. So where? So the rise could be that way. Yes, it could be that way. That one that is going upward, going to vertical. As the slope of the straight line is defined as the ratio of vertical rise of the line and its corresponding run. So that is the rise, the vertical one, that's the rise. And the run, yeah, the horizontal, that's the rise, and this is the run. That is the ratio of the slope, the rise of the run. How about, can we, this part, this one, yeah, can we make it as this is the rise and this is the run? Well, as long as there is a rise, it could be, yeah, that could be the rise, of course, and it's the run. Okay. So the coordinate of the first point are given a subscript of 1. Example, this point here we name it earlier as point P, and this is point O. So the coordinates of the first point are given as a subscript of 1. So we'll let the point P as the first point. So thus it could be written as x like this, x sub 1 and y sub 1. Like that. The point P is look like this. So how do we read this one? Yeah, how do we read that one? It can be read as point P with coordinates x sub 1 and y sub 1. Sub means subscript of 1. And the coordinates of the second point, which is the point O, this point here, we'll let that point as point O. The coordinates of the point O are given the subscript of 2. Yeah, because that is the second point. So it can be just like this. So that's the point. That's x sub 2 and the point O with the coordinates of x sub 2 and y sub 2. So how about that one? How can we read that one? So we can read as, diba? This is y sub 2, right? And this is y sub 1. So y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Okay, let's move on. The slope of any non-vertical line containing the points with coordinate x sub 1 and y sub 1 and x sub 2 and y sub 2 is defined by the formula, that one. So this is the formula that I have shown you earlier. Yeah. But based on that formula, how do we find the change of y and the change of x? Yes. Well, the change of y. So observe this graph. So we'll let this point as the point P and the point O. So here, this is our point 1, right? And this is our point 2. Yeah. So there are 2 points. The point P. So this one, have you seen this one? This yellow lines. So from here to here, this are the values of y. So from the point of origin to this point, yeah, these are the value of y. This is the point 1. The value of the point 1 is in the y sub 1. And the y sub 2, yeah, the y sub 2 is this one. That one. The lines with violet, yeah, that's the y sub 2. Observe carefully, yeah. If this is the y sub 1, yeah, this line here, if this is the y sub 1 and this is the y sub 2, so this means that the change of y is from this point to this one to y sub 2, because the y sub 1 is end up in these lines. So therefore the change of y is this area here, this area, that area, yeah, the one that is lined with the broken line with the red one. So that is the change of y. So how do we get the change of y? As we've seen, yeah, in the figure, as we already seen, yeah. Observe carefully. If this is the y sub 2, yeah, if that is the y sub 2, and the y sub 1 is this one, so we get the change of y if we subtract the y sub 1, yeah, the y sub 2, if we subtract this y sub 2 by the y sub 1 in order to get the change of y. Then therefore the change of y is the difference between the y sub 2 and the y sub 1. Then it can be written as y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Therefore that is the change of y. Okay? You get it? Okay. How about you? Get it? Okay, class? Okay, so let's continue. How about the change of x? Yeah. So if this one here is the value of change of this, the value of y sub 1, then this one here could be the value of x sub 1. So this one here, the distance between the point of origin to this point here. So these are the value of x sub 1. Yeah, the one with broken lines. Yes, the one you have yellow colors. Yeah, that one. This is the value of x sub 1, and the x sub 2 is from here. Yes, from the point of origin to this one to this point. Yes, these are the values of x sub 2. Yeah, and of course, by getting the value of the x sub of the change of x, yeah, we look at the limit of the x sub 1, since we know that the limit of x sub 1 is up to here and the x sub 2 is up to here. Then therefore from here, yeah, from here to here, these are the values of the change of x, or yeah, this is the value of change of x. So we can infer that to get the change of x is to subtract the x sub 2, yeah, minus the x sub 1 in order to get the change of x. Then therefore we can write the change of x as the difference between x sub 2 and x sub 1, or x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So now you know that, so this symbol, yeah, is we're going to replace it here, yeah. So that one. So the slope of any non-vertical straight line containing the points with coordinate x sub 1 and y sub 1 and x sub 2 and y sub 2 is defined by this formula. Yeah, this one. The slope, or m, is equal to rise over run, or equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, where x sub 2 should not be equal to x sub 1. Yeah, it should not be equal to x sub 1. So why should that be equal to x sub 1? Because if we let this x as, let's say, a 2, this x sub 2 is 2, and here the x sub 1 is also 2. So what will happen? It will gives us a value of 0, so it becomes undefined. So and the graph of undefined is just like this. That's why the slope of any non-vertical straight line must be containing the points of with these coordinates x sub 1 and y sub 1, and x sub 2 and y sub 2 is defined by this formula. So it can only apply by any non-vertical straight line. Okay, let's move on. So Do you get it? Okay, now you get it. Are there any questions? Okay, let's continue. So, let's recall. The slope refers to, yeah, right. It is refers to the steepness of the line. It is the steepness of the line. So it could be in that way, in that steep, or yeah, it is close to perpendicular. Yeah, as long as it is not vertical. So because vertical is gives us a defined slope, and yeah, and the horizontal give us a zero slope. So what are the types of slope? Yeah, it can be positive slope, which is inclined to the right. Yeah, like this, and the negative slope, which is inclined to the left, and the horizontal slope, like this one. Yeah, or the zero slope. Yeah, the zero slope. The zero slope, which the graph is horizontal, and the undefined slope, which the graph is vertical. Yeah, so that's it. So if we are given two slopes, yes, two slopes, like example -1 and -2, or 2 and 1, as long as there are two slopes, we were given two slopes, and we can tell which one of these are steeper than the other one. Yeah, because the slope means steepness, so which one is the more steeper? Okay, so which is the steepest? Okay, so given that figure, observe in that figure there are 5 lines, right? The lines M1, M2, M3, M4, M5. There are 5 lines. So observe carefully, yes. From that figure. You see the figure? Have you seen it? The figure. Okay. Just look at the presentation. Just look at the slide. Okay. What do you observe? Yes? Yes, it contains a positive slope and negative slope. Oh, yes, of course. There are how many positive slope? Yes, there are 2 positive slope. How about negative slope? Yes, there are 3. Have you found zero slope and undefined slope? No. So from that figures, yes, from the figure, the lines, what have you observed? Yes, what have you observed? Which one is the steepest? So I think it could be this one or this one. They are like more similar, right? But if we observe it clearly, yeah, I think this one is more steeper than this one, right? This is more steeper. By my observation, this one is the more steeper. But always remember this. Remember this. The larger the slope in absolute value, the larger the slope in absolute value, the steeper the slope. So you are going to base at the absolute value of the given slope. Okay, for example, so this M1, M2, M3, M4, M5. So I calculated the slope, and it gives like in the M1 the slope is the 1/3. Yeah, actually there are different ways, a variety of ways in finding the slope of the line. It depends on the scenario. Yeah. So, and we will tackle that in our next lesson. But first, let's focus on this. Okay, let's focus on this. Are you making class? Okay. Are you still following? Okay. So what is the absolute value of -1/3? Since -1/3 is the slope of the line M1. Yeah, of the first line. The absolute value is just 1/3. And the M2, the line 2, the slope of the 2 is -1. Okay. Then the absolute value of -1 is 1. Just simply remove the negative signs, because in the absolute value there are no negatives, right? If this is the graph, yes, and it approaches to the line, the horizontal, the 0, yeah, or the point of origin, if it approaches to that line, it goes back to it reflects. That's why there are no negative lines of the y. So, okay. How about the M3? Yes, the absolute value. Yes, this 1, 2, the line 1, 2, and 3 are the negative slope. Yeah, they have negative slope. They have negative slope, right? Okay. So the absolute value of -3 is 3. How about M2? Yeah, the M4 is the value is 2, and the absolute value is 2. How about line 5 or the M5? The M5 is the value, the slope of M5 is 1/2, and the absolute value of 1/2 is 1/2, of course. It's only 1/2. It is it. Okay. So, based on the graph, the steepest is the, yes, just look at this, yes. The larger the slope in the absolute value, the steeper the slope. So, which do you think is this most steepest? The steepest, yes. Which do you think is the most steep in these 5 lines? So, I guess, so it's already clear that the most steep or the steepest of these 5 lines is the, yes, line 3. So, in here, therefore, it's the line 3, yes. So, are there any questions before we proceed to our assessment? Okay. So, I guess there are none. Okay, so let's proceed to our assessment. Are you ready? Okay. So we'll have a group activity. So since how so we are all 20, right? Yeah, we are 20. So I want you to group yourself into 5. So you, from you Angela to you Dora, oh, you will be the group 1. And the, yeah, you will be group 1, and the 2 students at your back, you'll be the group 1. You 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here you will group 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The group 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, and the group 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have all your groups now. Okay. So I have here 4 pentel pens, yeah, 4 pentel pens, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and 4 manila papers, yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4, yeah, there are 4 manila papers. So, leaders, can you come forward and get your manila paper? Okay, so here it is, you should be right, okay, here. And you, Clint, you just, and hey, group 2. Okay, group 3, I mean group 3, come here. The leaders, oh, the leaders only. Okay, here. Group 4, the leader. Okay, this one. So, since you have all the manila papers, yes, and the pentel pen, of course, are you ready for our activity? Actually, this will be your assessment. It is recorded, okay? So you are all in your groups. Okay, so in this group activity, you should be work creatively and work, yes, like a group, like a team. There, because, okay, how about the first group to pass will have a prize for our next meeting. Okay, so you'll receive a prize for our next meeting. Okay, so ready? Okay, this will be your, yes, for groups, or you are in your groups right now. Answer the following. Draw and describe the different types of slope. And number 2, an engineer measures the steepness of those two steep roads. If the road P, yeah, has a slope of 1/2 and the road R has a slope of -2, which of the 2 roads is steeper? Okay, do you get it, class? I'll read it again, okay? Just draw and describe the different types of slope. And number 2, an engineer measures the steepness of the 2 steep roads. If road P has a slope of 1/2 and road R has a slope of -2, which of the 2 roads is steeper? Okay, you will have about 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes. Oh, but it's too early. Okay, sige. I think we have a winner. Oh, the group 1. Okay, group 1, it will receive a snacks for next meeting. Okay, pass your work. I already have here the work of group 1. Okay, the group 3. Okay, the group. Okay, the other group, last group. Okay, thank you. So, all papers are in. So now, let's proceed to our assignment. Okay, for our assignment, that will be the next meeting. Okay, research about different ways of finding the slope of the line. Actually, it can be It has a variety of ways in finding the slope of the line. Yeah. I want you to research, make further research in how to find the slope of the line in any scenario. Like if the slope are given, yeah, what is the graph? What's the graph of slope, or what is the equation of the line? Of this equation of the line is given, what's the slope? Yeah, I want you to make further research about that. Okay, are there any questions about the assignments? Okay then, so I guess so we're all okay. All right, so dismiss. Thank you.